Yes, I'm here. You can hear my air conditioner now. Hey everybody, live stream number 53. Welcome. Let's see who's joining us. We have Radios is here. 1 minute early. Thank you, Jeffrey. Hit like on your way in. Thank you, Mike. Look, Dave, what are you doing here? It's too early for you. I found one Camry. What'd you find, Radios? On time. Thank you, Bonnie. Smash that like button. Where the heck did this week go? I wish I knew, Mike. Crazy. Hello, Lyle. And hopefully saved a flash from 80s, 90s Energizers. Woohoo! I want to know what camera you got. Russell's here. Hello, Russell. Yo, yo, yo. I saw so many 8mm cameras this week, but did not buy. I wish I could see so many like you guys do. Well, I can, but they're on eBay. But you guys see them locally usually. And Jeffrey, I want to talk to you about something in a minute. Kind of cool. I'm excited about it. Bart says, hello, Filmboy24. Hello, Bart. Thank you for popping in. Yashica Electro TL. Nice. I think I already did. I think I did a review on that. Did I not? I know I have a Yashica. I have one or two Yashicas, but I don't remember the model numbers. The shutter doesn't seem to fire. It needs two 640 batteries. There should be replacements for that. But what's weird is most Super 8 cameras don't operate on, is that the little batteries? Those don't, that's usually the meter. Hey, Barry's here. Hello, my friend. What do I got to do? Okay. First, Jeffrey, did you get your, I just want to make sure you got it. Your reel that I sent, the 400-foot reel for your projector. I just want to make sure it arrived. Oh, it's a 35mm camera. Oh, ah-ha-ha. Okay, so yeah, you will need... Oh yeah, you're welcome. No worries. I just want to make sure it got there. It's 35mm radios. I didn't know that. I thought for some reason you were talking about Super 8, but you got a true film camera. That's great. No worries. No worries, Jeffrey. Only camera I found. Any film camera that you find is a good film camera that you find. I had a couple of good back and forths with a couple of new people. Somebody emailed me or messaged me on Instagram, a fella, and we'll get to that in a minute. He's looking for a possible way to solve this little problem he has. It's not a problem. He's trying to make something and emulate something that someone already sells. I think they make them and sell them in China or something, but it's a neat concept, and I didn't know the answer, and I thought I would bring it up today. There's another thing I want to talk about. I want to show you guys something really quick. Okay. You guys know how I feel about Kodachrome. I actually used to love Kodachrome, as did anybody in their right mind, because it's beautiful. Nowadays, Kodachrome is, I mean, for all intents and purposes, it's pretty much worthless. There isn't much you can do with Kodachrome unless you get lucky and you find a roll and it's been stored properly or it's really new-ish. Then you may have some decent luck with it. So, I want to see if I'm the only one here that has seen. I have to know if I'm the only one here that has seen this eBay listing. Okay, I want you guys to keep this in mind. Keep something in mind. It's just Kodachrome. It's old Kodachrome. It is 16mm. It's K40, and it's a 100-foot roll. Now, with all that said, it's one of the newest, or I should say the latest. It's one of the latest manufacture dates of Kodachrome. So I would never pay more than about $5 to $10 for a 100-foot roll of Kodachrome K40. Ever. Ever. Hey, Cecil. I don't care how new it is. Maybe if it's real new, I'd go up to 20, 25. If it's like real new, like this one I'm going to show you. So this is a good prime example. This is a good prime example. Hold on, Russell, of the craziness that some people, looniness that they have in their brains about film. Oh my God, it's film. And I don't make fun of people for the most part, especially on here. I think everybody is just great, and it's good that they're creative. But this is insane, people. Okay, it's probably one of the latest runs of Kodachrome. All right, I've said enough. Let me show. This is currently listed on eBay. Maybe if you're watching this video way down the road, it's not. But it is currently listed, and then there's a couple of things to go along with it. Hold on. So here's the listing. You ready for this? 100-foot reel of Kodachrome. All right. That's just Kodachrome K40. Yes, that's US dollars. It's $2,499. I got to just show you. I just have to show myself laughing. But there's more. But wait. Price reduction. There was a price reduction shortly after it was listed. You, for a limited time, can get 5% off and pay only $2,374.05. I mean, come on, folks, it's Kodachrome. Jump in. I didn't even follow it. I didn't watch. I watch a lot of items just to see how ridiculous they end up. I did not on that one. And apparently you can send offers to people, even people that actually just look at the item. You don't even have to be a watcher. So I did get an offer from that seller. And if you're watching this at some point, seller, there's no, I mean, I have nothing against you. This is not really a dig on you personally. You just don't know that it's worthless. But they gave me an offer. What are you laughing at?
No, it's worthless.
My wife. $1,500. I almost had to wake up my wife and beg her to let me get it. I mean, it's 100 feet of Kodachrome for only $1,500. That's like 40% off. Okay, I don't, like I say, I'm not making fun of the seller. Well, I guess I am. But do your research a little bit, people, and please don't buy into that. That's Kodachrome. I'm not saying that that wouldn't give you a good image, because it probably would. It's an expiration of 2007. So it's a 2005 batch, which is one of the latest years that they produced Kodachrome movie film. There's speculation on maybe it ended in 06, maybe 07. Who really knows? But I believe that they pretty much were done with Kodachrome Cinefilm in 2005. So it's late. It's late Kodachrome. Just buy a roll of new black and white film. You'll get just as good. I mean, you'll get better, of course. Whew, there's my tangent for the day. Bonnie says you can use it as test film and try. Yes, you can do that. It's really good for that for $5 a roll. Hey, Mark is here. I'm in Sarasota right now, and I understand why you're inside on a Sunday afternoon. I'm going back to Ohio where I can breathe. Got my film back, thanks. Oh, absolutely. You were on the list. I wanted to make sure you did receive it, Mark. And yes, thank you for your sympathy. We are Floridians, and it is toasty and just wet. It rained so bad last night that it woke up a lot of people in my house. My youngest, Piper, had a friend over and spent the night last night. Bye. Yeah, Jeffrey. You're not kidding, Mike. I mean, seriously, people, what are you doing? The M3 MacBook I bought this week costs less. Costs less than what? The camera? Oh, costs less than that film. What a bargain. Gee, what a bargain, Dad. Yeah. Yeah, pesos. Now you're talking, Mark. I mean, pesos, that's fine. Yen, you know, there's some foreign currency that 2,500 would be really, really reasonable. Imagine buying that and process didn't wouldn't pay less than $3,000. Yay, I'm getting a new Mac computer and it's $1,000 less than the film. Listen, if you can buy a computer, a nice Mac computer, for $1,000 less than a 100-foot roll of Kodachrome, then you know for sure that you shouldn't be buying that 100-foot roll of Kodachrome. And by the way, I got a closet full of 100-foot rolls of Kodachrome in there. Closet full, like 50 rolls of it. I mainly got it. I got it really, really cheap, like $3 a roll. But I mainly get it for the daylight spools because I do a lot of spooling up for people. But I don't throw the film away. I like to experiment with it. Yay, I'm getting into. We went through that. Time to get a second mortgage. I was in high school when it was made. Yes, you were. I was not, sadly. Oogadly goo. Oogledy goo. I'm late, but here. Matthew is here. Hey, Katie. Happy Sunday. 2,500 yen is $25. So even still, I mean, that would be the cap for me. I probably would get that roll for 25 bucks. I probably would. But not 2,500. I'm sure it's excellent mint condition with $40 shipping from Japan. Somebody mentioned last week the Lomo tank. I have it. You guys probably can't see it, but I have my go-to, my main Lomo tank sitting here. I don't know. I thought it would kind of be fun to. I don't know if I've ever tried just loading it without my setup. So I thought about trying to load that tank real quick with some old junk film. With you know, just right here without all my stuff, with everything in the way. Just see if I could figure out how to load it. I brought this out. I don't know if I've ever shown you guys that. The Yashica cost me 15 bucks. Can't beat that. Who has one of these? I'm sure Mike does. Not right now. It's $15.88 US. Oh, okay. Well, then it's a great deal then, Katie. Who has one of these? Or has shot with one of these? This is Japan's version of Super 8. It's called Single 8. There's no batteries in this one. This one works fine. And I've had this for years. And I did shoot a roll of Single 8 that was in it. Mike, you must have one of these. But I've never tried processing. It was a color roll. I think I may have experimented with some black and white processing with it. But I was just curious if anybody uses Single 8. They're great. I mean, the concept behind it, you don't, Mike. The concept behind it is neat because unlike Super 8, I don't have a Super 8 card up here, but we all know what they look like. You can't really backwind Super 8. You can. You can backwind it to a certain degree. You can't backwind it using the little what do you call it? The spindle in the bottom of the cart, the back of the cart, because it'll snap. There's a little pin in there that prevents the inside, the spool, from just going crazy from backwinding on itself. So to backwind it, you're basically just bunching the film up inside the cartridge. When you do it, there are a few cameras that will backwind up to 72 frames or somewhere in that range for dissolves and fade in and fade out effects, or just dissolves rather. But Single 8, as you guys probably know, there's no restriction on Single 8. The film moves freely from one side to the other. Yeah, I don't know if I trust the backwind either, only because, well, on this one I would, because you're just rewinding the film back into itself. There's no, I mean, it's like a reel-to-reel, and it's free spinning on both reels. The Nitzo backwinds, yeah. I have a camera, I think, well, the 1014 XLS will backwind, and I have some of those. So yeah, there's a few cameras that will backwind. Now, remember, they don't backwind by rewinding the entire, they don't rewind the take-up side, because that would snap the inner pin, the locking pin in there. When you rewind Super 8 film in a camera, it's just pulling the film, it's what do you call it? It's actually just pushing the film back into the cartridge, just stuffing it back in there. That's why you're limited on how far back you can rewind it. Otherwise, you're just going to have a big mess. You ever go fishing and you get that Dad? That's what you would end up with if you kept backwinding. Oh, does the silent 1014 do it also? You're scared to break it. In-camera dissolves with Super 8 would be great. And you can do them. The 1014s will do those. In fact, I'm almost done with all my note taking for my 1014 XLS video that will be coming out, and I plan on shooting some of the effects that it will do. It'll do fade ins, fade outs, it'll do dissolves, time lapse, all that. So I'm going to actually do that. It's been years since I've experimented with that, but I saw The Rock, a fire explosion at Dream Factory in Switzerland a few days ago. Still in excellent condition after 40 plus years of use. What is that? A what? The Rock, a fire explosion? Hey Lyndon, how are you? Thank you for jumping in. Be kind and rewind. You know, it's funny, Jeffrey, I still have, to this day, my Blockbuster card. It's over there somewhere. And I miss it. I miss the little mom and pop. I used to work in one, but I miss the little video stores. Doing good, thanks. Awesome, Lyndon. It's good to see you. Showbiz Pizza. Showbiz Pizza, kind of like Chuck E. Cheese. My very first job ever. So anyway, I bought years ago. This was before I had my film channel. Before I had this channel, I bought this film. Did I ever show you guys this? I dug it out the other day. I don't know. I just came across it. But I bought this film. I don't know how many are even here, like 18 or 20. They're rough, I'm telling you, but I thought they would be fun to experiment with. It's this kind of stuff. Pretty sure it's black and white film. Fujipan R50. Now listen. Yeah, I think it's black and white. I paid $5 for the whole bag of film. And the shipping was nothing. It was, you know, it was in the Pacific Northwest somewhere, and I'm in Florida, so it was like 15 bucks for shipping. So I got this whole bag for like 20 bucks. I figured if nothing else, I'll use, or can reuse the cartridges in here, because you can load them with Super 8. You just can't quite get, you're not going to get 50 feet on there, because this film is a lot thinner. Look at how bad that box is. You know, these were in rough shape, but they're totally sealed up in here. In these cool little bags. They're not really light proof, but they're cool, because you just unzip the top, and then they got the, you know, the little zip thing. And I have the two different ones. I have R50 and R200. You can see that's R200 film. And like I say, I think this is all black and white film. But I just never done any real experimenting with this, and I was just curious if anybody else has. You still have yours too, Lyle. I know, I love it. I just can't bring myself to get rid of it. I still think I have my Blockbuster card too. That said, my hometown video store, Primetime Video, was amazing. They never got rid of old formats of movies and video games. So much cool stuff. I miss them so much. I don't think I have it up here anymore, but I used to keep it down there, but I don't anymore. I have a video, it's so awesome, and I talked about it in a live stream when we did the Super 8 films, all shot, a feature film shot on Super 8. It's called, here's a little known movie, most of you guys probably never heard of it, but it's really cool, and it was shot in the 80s, not killer. It's called Game of Survival. It's not Surviving the Game, that one comes up a lot when you search. It's called Game of Survival. And the director's still around, and I have it on VHS, and I transferred it to digital just so I always had a copy, because it's starting to deteriorate. But what a fun film, set kind of in the future, and these they're all convicts they're on like a spaceship, and they get sent to Earth. It's kind of like Mad Max. They get sent to Earth, and they have to battle each other. There's this, I don't know, this ball, like spiky ball thing, and they have to battle each other to the death, and the last man standing, I think they're all guys, gets to live. But it's a neat concept. They got this rail buggy, you know, and the dunes and all this. So it's really fun. It's from, like I say, I think they shot it in late 88, something like that. One day I'll get it. Nice Fujifilm. Yeah, $5 for all this. I mean, like I say, I don't know if any of it's going to work. But this camera it runs fine, but it's starting to get the fungus in the lens. You're not going to be able to see it, but it is starting to get a little bit fungi. So stay tuned. I had planned on doing, some fun little series on single 8 because it's a real neat format. It's exactly the same as Super 8. Same perforation. Sorry, if I got bit by a bug or something. Same exact perforations, but the film is a lot thinner. So you probably could get more than 50 feet of single 8 film in a Super 8 cartridge if you should dare to try, because there's a considerable difference. I did process some single 8 film, and when you get it on the reel, it doesn't, I think you can still see light. It doesn't fill the whole reel, so it's substantially thinner film. And Fuji made fantastic film, and they had some really cool stocks, and their color negative stocks are gorgeous. Sell them on eBay, $3,400. Maybe I'll sell them to the Kodachrome seller and let her, I say her because her profile picture is a she, and let her sell them, and she could make millions. Still my Blockbuster card in the attic too, the laminated card of dreams. Then they got into video games and stuff. It was really neat. There was just one right down the street. Well, everybody had a Blockbuster. There's still one, I think, in Seattle. In Seattle, there's one left. Valley Video, my local store, couldn't afford to switch to DVD and went out of business in 2000. Boo! We had Hollywood Video here, and then honestly, I cannot even remember the name of the video store I worked in. It was on the beach side. It was Seaside Video, I think, because it was on the beach side on A1A. Set in 2024, 2025, I bet. Valley. I love movies from the 80s, trying to predict what today would be like. Yeah, I love the 80s. Love the 80s. The spiky ball is COVID. Hey, Steven. Yeah, you're not kidding. It looked like a little virus ball. You guys should look for that. I know, Fuji, Lyle. You guys should look for that movie. Look at it on eBay. Look for the VHS. They're not cheap. And I got it from that video store I worked at. When she closed, there was a little old lady that ran it, that owned it. And when she closed, she told us, I want to start selling off all the movies. So if you guys see any, let me know what you want. I'll give them to you for, I think, $1 or $2 each. And I bought a bunch of just crazy little low budget horror movies on VHS. I would have gotten more had I known they were so collectible now, but I got quite a few. And I sold a lot of them, because VHS doesn't last forever. I think the last Blockbuster is in Oregon. There's a cool doc about it. That's true, Matthew. I think it's in, oh, is it Oregon? I said Seattle. You're right. Portland maybe, or yeah. Yeah, I love that documentary about it. I think it was on Netflix or Prime or something, but I saw that. It was so neat. And they had to bid year after year for the contract just to keep that name. So I had to thank all those people who went to those VCR repair schools that would advertise. I know. So many of those. I love watching old commercials, the TV salesmen, Anyone else work at a video rental and movie theater when they were young? My local shop was called Movie Gallery. Movie Gallery, yes, that was popular too, Lyle. We had one of those. PCDI. We had Orman Video. I lived near Ormond Beach, Florida. We had Orman Video. There was just your city name video. There were so many different funky names for these mom and pop video stores. In fact, that's how Killer, the movie that I really liked, that was my inspiration, that little slasher film on Super 8, that's why it did so well, because he went grassroots, and he took that movie on VHS, made flyers, just so much legwork, and he just shopped it to mom and pop stores. He sent these color glossy, flyers, put them in the back of his car, and just went everywhere he could go, and sold so many copies. of that movie. I mean, 6 figures, kids. I'm not kidding you. Who remembers One Crazy Summer? I do. The movie reminds me of the local video shop. Yep, one of my favorite movies. I love that movie. International Correspondence School. What is that, Radios? We had a family video till it closed about, wow, only 3 years ago. Hey, Bent's here. Hello, Bent. Barry says, my son used to work in a movie theater. He got to keep trailers because the studios didn't want them back. That would be really cool. That's one job I never had that I thought I should have always had. We used to have a dollar theater right here in Port Orange that we would go to, and we had one in Daytona. It was always $1. The one here locally was $1 on like Wednesdays or something, but that's all gone now. All of it's gone. Redbox. I saw that, Jeffrey. Redbox. Boo. Just people are streaming now. Physical media is dying. I love physical media. I don't like wondering where I'm going to be able to watch some of my favorite movies. I like to know that if they're not streaming on one of the 300 different platforms, that I can just go in there and pull it off the shelf and put it in my DVD player. One candidate out of the race, and that's all for politics from Mr. Me. One candidate out of the... Oh, who's out of the race? Did I miss something? Indie film guys who did SOV... Oh, okay, yeah. I know what you mean, Radios. Let's hope we still take film. Let's hope... Whoa, you guys are going too fast. Let's hope we still take film, so in the future generations who live on 24/7 for all their lives can see things passed over from... That's why I love doing Lyndon. That's why I love doing found film. Because it doesn't need to just get thrown away. Speaking of found film, this is what I want to talk to Jeffrey about really quick. I don't have it up here. It doesn't matter. So Jeffrey, when he sent me his... Jeffrey sent me his Tri-X. Folks, remember the Tri-X cartridges I sent everybody about 2.5 months ago? Well, Jeffrey sent me his it's been about a month, 3 weeks ago. And Jeffrey, I'm talking about this side towards the screen. He sent me his, and he sent me a Kodachrome cartridge, Super 8 cartridge, as found film. Now, I don't have all the stuff in front of me, so I can't remember it all. I think it was in a camera or with a camera that he bought. And I found out a couple things about it, and a couple days ago, I finally processed... Oh, is Biden out? That's all I'll say about politics. I don't talk about politics. Not publicly. So anyway, so he sent me this Kodachrome as found film, right? And he even said, hopefully you can get something out of it. You know, if not, we get it. You guys know the sitch when it comes to iffy chrome. 90% of the time, there's nothing great about it. 10% of the time, it comes out nice, like really nice, and I mean it. 10% of the time. Well, I want to tell you, Jeffrey. I asked my wife yesterday if she thought I should show that film today on my live stream, because I showed it to her. I processed it and scanned it, and there's a reason I asked if she thought I should show it on my live stream, and she said no. I think you should save it and just show. She actually said, dude, you could do both. Show it on your live and then make a found film video out of it. But I decided to forego showing it today. It's nothing like overly groundbreaking, the content, but I don't know if I've ever gotten better results out of Kodachrome. I want to tell you, Jeffrey, that's one of the best Kodachrome films I've ever developed. It came out so well that if it didn't say Kodachrome on the box and I didn't have to scrape Remjet off of it, I would have thought it was plus X. I would have thought it was plus X. And it was shot with a good camera. My guess is a Minolta. And I say that because there's only a couple of branded cameras that I can think of, maybe only one, and it's Minolta, that has that weird, that over by the sprocket hole, that really encroaches in like that. It's not just a rectangle. It really comes down at a triangular. So I think somebody was using a Minolta camera. Was it a camera if that was in an antique store? Do you remember what camera it was by any chance, Jeffrey? I actually had a guy that sent me a couple rolls of film that he was in antique stores, and he saw film in the cameras, and he asked the people that worked there, the guy that worked there, if he could take the film, and he told him about me, and the guy said, of course. It was kind of cool. He gave it to him. All right, I missed a few things. Anyway, Jeffrey, I just want to tell you, thank you so much for sending that to me. That found film, it came out unbelievably well. Unbelievably well. So look for that. The next found film is already done. It'll be coming out in just a couple days, and it was sent to me by my pal Mr. A. That's all I'm going to call him. He's not subscribed to YouTube. He may or may not be watching this live stream right now. If he is, thank you again, Mr. A. Yes, his is loaded, and his film that he sent me those 12. Remember that 3 bags I showed you guys? And I did his first roll, and that's coming out next. And then Jeffrey, yours is probably going to be after that. It's really cool. And it's a neat subject. I mean, we haven't seen it before, and I have a funny feeling, Jeffrey, that it was filmed really close to you, geographically, and you'll see why. Anyway, okay. Radio says, I love it too. It's good to have a physical copy. Always have a physical copy, yes. All right, where am I at? Matthew says, we had a dollar theater in my hometown when I was growing up. Someone bought it recently and fixed it up now. It's kind of an art house thing. Love to see it. I love that. I premiered a few films of my own, short films that we shot in our local art house theater called Cinematique. Great little theater. Look it up. It's on Beach Street in Daytona Beach. Great. It's cool. It's got that old cinema look on the outside. I love it too. It's good to have good. Physical media is making a pretty big comeback. That's what I kind of thought. I kind of felt that too. I mean, and I think it has something to do with so much competition in streaming. I mean, they got the big ones, the Netflix, the Prime, Hulu, even Tubi is starting to kind of creep up there. You have your main ones that I know I'm missing a couple, and I have those. But they're fighting for all these films, and so you have to have them all if you want all of the films that you like to watch. Or you could just pay a one-time fee and have it forever. I sold so many of my DVDs. In fact, I had so many, there was a point where I had a couple thousand, and I just didn't have anywhere else to put them. So we finally were like, all right, let's just go through them. We sold off about half of them, and I kept the ones that I thought maybe I would like, ended up selling more of those, and now I'm down to, I don't know, 400 or 500, but maybe more. 600. Last time I went to a theater, they were still using slide projectors for the local ads. And they can't change the film on you, Mike. No, they cannot. What stops do I set the Plus X cartridge at? What stops? Well, that's going to depend on what you're shooting, radios. Oh, Mike, you'll finish it soon. I'm not worried about it. I'm really not. If I were done with mine already, I'd be getting on you guys like, come on, let's go, let's go, let's go. But mine's not done yet either. Wow. It was in a camera. Okay, there we are, Jeffrey. I will look now. It was a metal whoa, I'm skipping ahead. Was it a metal cartridge? No, I know. I'll look forward to seeing that. Hi to all. Hey, Jim is here. Jim from Greece. 110 degrees Fahrenheit. You better stay inside. Yeah, well, you know the 401, 601. I know those have that, you know, thing, radios, where they really have a wide frame. I recently filmed a cassette of which I thought was surely effed up Kodachrome. I stuffed the film in my black and white, hold on, it's scrolling on me, my black and white photo tank like spaghetti and developed. It came out pretty good. Yeah, that's called bucket processing, and there's nothing wrong with that. Travis, who promised me he was going to start making live streams again, has done some bucket processing. I've never really done it. I think maybe early on I did a little bit. You can get images. The biggest problem with that is when film sticks together to itself, it tends to not come apart, and then it'll stay stuck, and then you're going to have these white splotches. When you get white splotches, you get bloop, bloop. But I mean, for testing cameras or film or processing, it's great. It really is. Should I give the bucket method a chance? Oh, you knew what it was, bucket method. Yeah, that's where they get the big buckets and do it. But remember, the bigger the bucket, the more ingredients you need. So try it. See what happens. Do black, black and white. It's cheap. You can buy the, just buy a bag of D76 or some HC110, and it'll last you forever. And give it a shot. Russell says, just sent you a cool image in your Facebook chat. Okay, let's see. Russell sent. Okay. Let's see. Oh. Did you take that? Scars remind us the past is real. That is a cool image. Huh. You guys know what that building is, right? We were just talking about it. You don't even need the sign to be there to know what that is. That's a great image. Thanks, Russell. Matthew says, also, sorry I haven't gotten my Tri-X in yet. Promise it's coming. Tell life to stop getting in the way. Yeah, I know. Life keeps getting in my way, too. Hey, Remjet. How are you, my friend? The camera could be a Yashica Super 40. Well, that's a great... maybe I have a Yashica 40. I think. I need to look and see if my Yashica 40... If I have a Yashica 40, I've used it. And if I've used it, I have the film somewhere, and I'll look and see if it has that same pattern. Supposed to get the Plus X tomorrow. Yeah, Plus X is fantastic film. I just got a whole bunch of 16mm Plus X. 7266, really cheap. 100-foot reels. And 4 200-foot reels of Tri-X. Old, from the 70s. Lyle says he wants the bucket too. Yeah, I wish Travis was in here because I believe he just did it. You got to expect some scratches. You see, the edge of the film is going to hit all over the place, and it's going to create, some inconsistencies. However, we are all experimenters, and it's really a neat. I don't know. It's neat. It's cool. And by the way, I have a 16mm film. I thought I would show you guys something. Let me show you guys something first. This isn't a film, because I told him I would ask, and I'm genuinely curious. Does anybody know how this is done? Let me turn off the Kodachrome film. Anybody know how they make these tiny little pictures? Now I'm going to show you 2 photographs. Okay, this one is a girl's wearing a necklace. That inside that little bead that you see on the necklace is that. It's just it's maybe think of those little things you look through. You get them at amusement parks and stuff with your picture in it. But this guy told me that I had some Instagram back and forth with him, and he's trying to figure out how he can get this slide image 4 millimeters is the size of it. And I said, well, how about printing just inkjet or laser jet, or get it printed on a transparency? He said he's tried, and it just can't get any resolution out of it. And I see why. I mean, you're printing such a tiny picture. Microfilm, I thought maybe, I wondered about that, Jeffrey. I thought maybe one of those cameras, but one of the little ones that takes those tiny little pictures, I don't know if the MG or one of those Minoltas or something, that might work. I don't know what they do. Vengeance. Certain exposures. Oh yeah, those look awesome. It's 40 ASA. Yes. Plus X is very slow speed radios. It's 40 or 50. Yes, and you need a good sunny day if you're going to film outside. You need lots of light with Plus X. But once you have it, it's the most beautiful black and white film you can shoot. Set my meter. Well, how old is it? I mean, Plus X hasn't been made for a while. So, and if you're going to have it processed as a negative, then I'd say you're right on. 2 stops up. Yeah. Yeah, maybe, Dave. That's not a that's a thought too. Like a 35 millimeter slide or something like that. That they just have a little stamp that cuts the little circle out or something. I don't know. I was confused as to. It doesn't seem like it should be that difficult, but maybe it is. I don't know. I know it's, the resolution has to be pretty good. Who would you send a Bolex non-reflex to for CLA? Isn't there a Dr. Bolex? Has anybody ever used Dr. Bolex? I have a non-reflex Bolex H8 that if I could get somebody to fix it for cheap enough, I would send it to them. But H8s are already cheap, especially non-reflex ones. But I don't really know. I've never sent one out for a CLA. But that's a good question. Maybe somebody here has. Yeah, they might be, Mike, but at some point still that picture has to be on some kind of a transparency. I just don't know how you get it onto a transparency. Some kind of super low speed film lab, maybe like the stuff they used to make prints from Cinefilm for distribution. Yeah, it can't be, it's not groundbreaking, it's not anything new, it can't be. I'm just not sure what it is. Oh, I have a question. I could just Google, but I'm here. What does the edge code on Vision 3 look like? So that's a good question, Lyle. New Vision 3, that to my knowledge, they don't use edge codes anymore. So if you buy a new roll of film direct from Kodak, it's not going to have an edge code identifying the year that it was manufactured. Old Vision 3, Vision 2, Vision, they will use a myriad of different codes. I think it depends on where it was manufactured and who was manufacturing it. I think it's dependent on shifts and a lot of things. They will use a series of numbers, like it would say 10, 11, or I'm sorry, I think it counts down, like 14, 13, 12, 11. And whatever the last number is, that's the year it was manufactured. That's pretty common. I've seen edge codes on newer film where it literally just had the year, 2012. The new film stocks, to my knowledge, don't have any edge codes identifying the year, however. And if they do, I'm not familiar with how to decipher that. But when you go back even farther, I think it's the mid 2000s is when they stopped with the symbols. So you would have Vision stocks and probably Vision 2. I wouldn't know without just checking all my research, but that you would definitely have still have the symbols. So I'd love to know who's already sent theirs out. Avoid Dr. Bolex. Use Robert Ditto in Arkansas. Okay, well there you go. Mike would know. He has about 8,000 cameras. I had the one done with a guy in Arizona. CLAs all seem to be in the 450 range. It's worth it, I think, if it's a reflex. I can't imagine. I mean, maybe if you want a CLA non-reflex, but you can get a non-reflex Bolexes for less than that. But they won't be CLA, so maybe that's not a bad idea. I don't know. Just don't know if you ever get your money back for it. He fixed the broken spring. Oh, what did he charge you for that, Radios? So I'd love to know who's already sent theirs out. That's why you got the Rex 5, yeah. Used Robert before. Bad reviews of Dr. Bolex. Yes, Robert is great. It's $350, but he's very thorough. Well, then that would be worth it. I mean, if they take them apart, some of these CLAs, they actually take the whole camera apart And they really clean up the old grease and stuff and re-grease them and put new seat, whatever it needs. There is a non-reflex Super 16 converted H16 for 150 here in Sweden. Should I take it? That's a pretty good deal. Super converted to Super 16. I personally would. Seems like a great deal if it works. Yeah, I mean, go ahead if you could take it. Jim says, history question. If you know a brand that produced a camera, 8mm or Super 8 with an external magazine for more feet like 60, yeah, there's several of those, Jim. The problem is you can't really get, they were not loadable magazines for Super 8. I think they did have external magazines for 8mm as well, but the problem is they had 200-foot magazines for Super 8, but they were preloaded by Kodak and almost impossible to reload because they were just not meant for that. So there are several cameras. I have a few myself. I have the Elmo 1012S. I have the Shinon 200/8XL. Those cameras will take 200-foot magazines. The problem is nobody makes 200-foot magazines anymore. Think of it this way: if you're shooting double 8 and an H8 100-foot rolls, you get 200 feet of film. And if you're shooting it at its native 16 frames per second, you're getting like 20 minutes of film. You're getting a forever amount of film. I'll put Ditto's in here for the live chat ASAP. Ditto's info. Oh, good. Do that. I think we need to compile a list at some point of good, reliable sources for stuff. And that's a good one to do, is CLAs. I've heard really good things about Dual Camera. I think they're in New York. Has anybody used them? They're very active on some of the forums. I think it's the Gall brothers. But I've heard very, very, very high praise for Dual. And I know they do CLAs. I very seriously considered sending my Aeroflex to them. I think Elmo C300 had, yes, Remjet, I think you're right, that stuck out the back, like the Mickey Mouse ears out the back. You are absolutely right. Shouldn't be impossible to make a magazine yourself in the day of 3D. I'd love to see somebody do that, Ben. I really would. So I have a, if you guys want to see it, I've been trying to experiment a little bit. I don't have it extracted right now. But I've been trying to figure out a good way to extract with, like, I use AEO Light, optical audio out of old film recordings. Old film, like 16mm and 35mm. I scanned a movie trailer that Travis gave me as practice. It's a 35mm movie called Wild Wild West. Terrible movie. I think that's why he gave it to me. It's just for practice. And then I extracted the audio. It's optical audio, the wavelengths off the edge, and processed it with AEO Light. Excuse me. And it's tricky, but to some degree it worked pretty well. I only was able to find one 16mm film that I currently possess that has an optical soundtrack on it. Now I did upload, it's here, it's ready if you guys, it's about a minute and a half long. If you guys want to see it, I scanned it today. I don't have the audio extracted, and I have no idea what the audio is. It's a series of horizontal lines that run along opposite the perforations. I got this film. What I did is I bought, this is it right here. I bought a bunch of these little reels, film reels. They're 50-foot reels on eBay from a seller who was selling them as Art Deco, where you could make projects, you know, put them on your wall and have film coming out of them. And he was selling them for 10 or 20 in a lot, but if you bought them, he included a, I don't know, a length of film. And I said, well, let me get, I think I got 10. These are perfect for the 50-foot cartridges when I process those, because it holds about 50 feet of film. So I had gotten a few, and he sent me, it was all one roll of just junk film. He just called it scrap film that you can use. Well, it happened to have the optical audio on the side. I have no idea what that audio is. Let's get that right. I don't know what it is. I haven't tried to extract it. I scanned the film today. I did 0 to it. It's all overscanned, so you see the perforations. It's not been stabilized. It's not been, color graded. And I believe it's a girl swimming. It's a lady swimming. And it looked like it was shot pretty professionally, actually. Some of it's a little out of focus. But when he goes underwater and she's doing these really cool things underwater. And there's, I don't know if it's music, maybe. I don't know. We'll know hopefully on the next live stream. I believe there is an edge code. Here you go. It's a triangle. So it's either 1958 or 1978. I think it's 58, and you'll see why when you see what she's wearing. Kind of looks more 50s. It's settled down. It's not that kind of film. It's just a girl swimming. It's the only one I have. It just happened to be a scrap film. Filmboy24. There's a guy called Paul Moore. Yeah, don't get... yeah, Paul. He repaired Bolex camera. He's a good source of tips. Yeah, I know, Bart. I know who Paul is. He's all right. I think he's in the Philippines, I believe. Yeah, you could follow Paul if you'd like. Put a shirt on, Paul. Okay, popcorn time. Jeffrey Skip from AV Geeks could transcribe it. Oh, Skip could, yeah. No, you can do it. I can do it with AEO Lite. That's the program. That's the main. It's an open source optical audio extraction program, something like that. Steven says, I found a 35mm trailer from Ice Age at a thrift store, and I guess I should have bought it. Is this stuff desirable? Much better than Wild West? Yeah, I would have had fun with it, Steven. They're not worth much. I won't pay much for trailers. They're all over. There's tons of them. In fact, I used to have a whole bunch of them. I went to when I was a police officer, I went to a policeman's ball. We had a big, at the huge Ocean Center Convention Center, and it was Hollywood themed. This was years ago in the 90s. But every table, hundreds of tables in there, had film trailers, reels of film all over them. And I took a whole bunch of them. They didn't want them. But I had since gotten rid of them. That was in the 90s, so they're everywhere. If you can get them for cheap, that's great. Question number 2, do you know how producers transport films from 35mm to 8 or Super 8 films with negative 8mm or color film like slide film? How they transport it? Do you mean how they show it, or well, I mean, they have to make prints if you're going to transfer it. I think you mean transfer, right? If you're going to transfer from 35 to Super 8 or 8, you have to have a printer, like an optical printer, to do that. Yeah, I'm with you on that, Mike. Yeah. Paul Morbid Team Entertainment. Yeah, I am not saying anything bad about Paul. I actually think he's a nice guy. I don't know him personally. I can say I don't think I really learned much from him. Ditto has many clients ahead of us by now, so it will be a wait. You're talking about the Gall brothers? Is that who you're talking about, Mike? All right, let's take a look. I'm going to show you this. It's just a film. I guess I just wanted to show you the soundtrack on the side. So get your popcorn out. Let's just take a quick peek at this. Minute and a half long. Let me cue it up. Is this it right here? Film trailers on film are important, in my opinion, because some amazing stuff like unused scenes are on them. I agree, Lyle. I mean, if I can find them, I'll get them cheap enough. Yeah, definitely. Robert Ditto. All right, 16mm, double perf film, not been stabilized, swimming girl. All right, look at the right side. You can see that's the audio. Again, I've done no post-production to this at all. This is right out of the scanner and then just, what do you call it, rendered. But the bathing suit to me screams 50s. Very graceful, not also. That's awesome. Something about that classic blue water and the tan. I know. I love it. So cool. Now that is, my best guess was that was shot at 24 frames per second, I believe. Let me know if you think that doesn't look natural, her movements, but they do to me. I slowed them down and it really looked like she was slow motion. So I believe this was relatively professionally shot, because I believe in the 50s they weren't doing a lot of amateur underwater filming. I'm really curious to know, and hopefully I'll know at the next stream, but that's the end of it, but I'm very curious to know what the audio is. Whether it's music, whether it's a voiceover talking about the swimsuit or the cap, or I have no idea what that could possibly. You know what? Venture a guess. If I'm able to extract the audio from that, then I want to know what you guys think it is before I actually show you. Because hopefully, remember, there's no live stream next week. I'll be in St. Augustine. No live stream next week, but we'll follow it up with the next one. And then hopefully I will have that footage right here with audio intact. The footage came out, yeah, I thought so. So do you guys think 58 or 78? This film was either manufactured in 58 or 78. Narrator with music. I'm kind of leaning towards a narrator for sure. I don't know. Crystal synchronized swimming, maybe, yeah. Okay, at Flying O. What's his email? Awesome. Held up super well with age. Was it Kodak? You know, I don't think it was Kodachrome. And I did look on the side, and it just says Kodak REV, Kodak Reversal. And then safety film. So I don't know, to be honest. I'm going to do a little bit more digging and hopefully have more for you. I just, now that I mentioned it, that's a good, I want to know what you guys think is on that audio. Because I'm going to do my absolute best to be able to pull it. Awesome. You can understand the right speed from water. Yeah, the waves. You're right, Jim. Okay. I'll be on my new computer then. 58, 58, 58. Okay, so everybody is in it with me. That's what I figured too. 1958 based on the, well, cap for one, and then the suit looked more 58 to me. I don't think it's 38. I mean, they did do optical film. I mean, they did optical sound in the 20s, but I can't imagine that has been out since 1938. It's one of the, it's either 38, 58, or 78. It looks like the 50s to me. When I was 0 years old. Oh my God, Filmboy24 withdrawal. I know. Sorry. We got to get away. I think if we don't take our little mini vacation next weekend, my wife may not be as supportive as she has been for the last 20 years of our marriage. 20 years this year. Flying O with email correction. Oh, did you put that info up there, Mike? Never gonna give you. It could be that, Bonnie. It could be that. In fact, I'm gonna bring it up again before I show you the audio, with the audio, which I hope comes out now I've talked about it. Before we even watch it again with audio, I will be asking your opinion. We won't see it until I get a certain number of opinions on what you think it's going to be. That'll be fun. My brother had a good idea too. My older brother, he thought with each found film video that I post, that I should say, what do you think? Here's found film next, 82. What do you think is on it? And it's already done. I already know, obviously, and I'm not going to change that. But what do you think's on it? Let me know, and we'll see who's close. Because we kind of know what's on most of these found films. You posted the info. Okay, good. Mike, if you want to email me any of that info, I'd be happy to put it in the description also of this video. Yeah, because it'd be much easier to see it, or I'll put it, or you know what, make a comment, Mike, would you please, when this video goes up, can you put a comment, and I'll pin it to the top. Put a comment of his info in there, and just so people know. Yes, info please. Esther Williams was Hollywood actress who was known for swimming. You think that's her? I mean, maybe we'll find out. What do we got? 3 after? Hour and 3 minutes? Yeah, we got time. I'm gonna mess for a minute. I'm gonna see if I can load this spiral real quick. Never tried it on a flat desk, or maybe I have, but it's set up right now for 2 reels. See that? I just told my wife the other day I really need to get another one of these. I have 2, and this is my go-to one, and the other one doesn't. It's got cracks and whatnot. This one's in really good shape, but I've used it every day. So if something happens to it, I'm up crits chic. So let's take the middle spiral out and not drop it. All right, kids, here we're going to try to load this. So for those of you who have never loaded one of these, this is your main spiral, and it's threaded in the center. The other one, which acts as the top cap, is not threaded in the center. See the difference? That's if you're doing more than one roll. You would use this on top of that, and then for your second roll, you would use this on top of this. We're just going to try to do one roll really quick. One of those Silver Springs mermaid shows. You know, I have a Super 8 film. I gotta find it. You guys would like it. It's a little more risque though, but if you guys want me to show it, I will. It's just nothing. No, it's not that. But it is that. It's like a mermaid thing. Like, but she's taking her mermaid stuff off. It's in the viewing glass though. It's like at a show. It's not. I don't think it's anything inappropriate. But she gets down to, you know, her bikini. But I have it. I don't even know how I got it. It's Super 8, I think. I think it was in one of those where I bought a bunch of Super 8 films, and it was like Weeki Watchy or one of those places in Florida where they do the, you know, underwater and you can watch them. But she did a little bit. So what camera are you going to bring on your trip? You know, that's a very good question. I still have to get them together. I'm going to bring a 16 millimeter, a Super 8, a still camera, 35 millimeter. I'm going to bring my digital camera, my Canon M50. And we have a nice resort, and we got a balcony right on the beach. So it's going to be fun. And I'm going to bring a time-lapse camera, and I'm going to try to time-lapse some goofy stuff like the waves, right? We'll sit down on the beach and try to get some waves. Maybe, I mean, we're on the East Coast, so we could get maybe time-lapse of a nice sunrise. I don't know. I'm going to bring probably 4 cameras and probably use one. Isn't visual audio like that a marvel? It's astounding. It amazes me every time I think about how do you get audio out of light. I don't know. All right, you always want perforations, Super 8, down. So we thread. This is how I do it. See the little, there's a little, sort of a little ridge there inside. Straight down. Up and over, thread, done. I'm actually threading the leader. Just like that. See how it's threaded? All right. At this point, take the top, set it on. You have to put your spacer on. Screw it down. Now you have to do all this in the dark. And then I'm just going to hold the film this way, and we're going to twist, and we're going to see if we can load this while I'm reading. Found film sweepstakes. If you're not planning to buy that reflex, can you share that link? I want to take a look. Yeah, Bonnie, don't be a reflex hog. It's possible. Weird, I didn't see the comment. I'll look for it after upload. No, I didn't see it either, so maybe Mike, if I can get Mike to do that, that would be great. If you could do it after the film has been, or after the video has been posted, that would be great, and then I'll pin it. It's a little bit over full because of the leader. Yeah, the leader does not want to stay, but this is what you want. Ta-da! It amazes me still at this little piece of plastic that can keep 50 feet of continuous run film separated. Isn't that amazing? Let's take the lid off. Take a peek at it. Look at that. Leader and all. Telling my wife the other day, I'm really at peace. Everybody has that thing that sort of just calms their nerves, and I don't know, it makes them better with the world. When I'm in my 70s kitchen and I open up my tank and I see that, that's when I'm at, like, everything is good. Everything is good with the world. If you mean the S16 converted H16, and it's a non-reflex is going to the Swedish auction website. Oh, Bonnie, you're talking about that, yeah. Just the essentials, then. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly right, Steven. And I'll probably not even use it all. Comments remove. Carriage returns, but you'll figure it out. Elmo C300 had external mag, thanks. Yes, it did. And all in the dark. Hey, Mike. Hey, there's Rich. Just want to say hi over at the cat shelter today. Cheers. It's good to see you on here, Rich. Hope you're well, my friend. The Kodak Super 8 on eBay sold for a little over $3 grand. I saw that. I saw that. Somebody had it on there. They wanted, their buy it now was almost like retail. I saw that, Matthew. You make it look so simple. You know what, Mike? It's not that hard. I've done 1,000 probably rolls. So, I mean, once you get the hang of it, I know there's nobody on here that could not do this. Nobody on here that could not do it. Technology Connections YouTube did a video on audio on film. I have to check that out. Okay. It is simple. God bless those Soviet engineers. You're not kidding. Genius. I'm getting flashbacks from work watching you do that. It's my day off, Mike. Yeah, you do this a lot, don't you? They are finally spiral files on Thingiverse for 3. I know, but I've still not seen anybody print one that actually worked. I've seen people get close, but I know they're hard. I mean, 3D printing has gotten a lot better over the years, but getting them like perfect, it's tough. Sounded really good. All right, so I'm going to have to. What is it? 12 after? Yeah. I hate to do it, guys. This is always fun for me. But I'm going to have to, yeah, sometimes I have to spiral my film by hand. I do this quite often. Get it back on the reel. And make sure that I hit all the points I wanted to hit before we are gone. No! Alright, guys. I'll see you guys in 2 more weeks. Don't forget your Tri-X, Dave, and Matthew, and Manny. I didn't see Manny on here today. I know Manny's is done. I just haven't gotten his yet. Look at that. Oh. Quick one, but enjoyable. Thanks. Yeah, I love it. Thank you, Mike. What's one thing you would want made in the film world? I want a desktop film processing machine. If I could have anything I wanted in the film world, I would have a desktop, just like Victor did in the Ukraine. I want that machine so bad that yeah, that's what I want. A desktop or at least manageable size film processing machines for Super 8 16 millimeter minimum. I mean, 16 or 35 would be nice, but I would settle for the others. And I mean a machine, you know, goes through all the baths. Been fun as usual. Thank you, Katie. I appreciate it. Great stream, dude. Thank you, Bart. I appreciate it. Thanks again, Mike. Thanks, Russell. Thanks for hosting. Had a great time. Thank you, Barry. Take care, Mike. Great vacations. Thank you, Jeffrey. Gonna send pics of the Plus. Yes, send them on over. We're gonna have that 16 millimeter sound figured out next time. Tried to 3D print a giant Lego coffee mug a few years ago. First time I tested, already leaked water. That's the problem I've heard about 3D printing. They just leak. They don't hold water well. It's going to be a hard 2 weeks without a stream, but I think I'll pull through. Hang in there, Rimjet. Hey, thank you so much, everybody, week after week. And I'm very close to 5,000 subscribers. Can you believe it? I don't know why I deserve that, but that's pretty cool for me, for a goofball like me. I'm only about 50 or 60 away, so maybe I'm only saying that just so I have a reference down the road when I hit it, or if I hit it. But kind of exciting. I couldn't do it without you guys, but I'll always be thankful for my fun little group of people that are on here right now. You guys are what make this fun. So all of you, I really appreciate it. I really, 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 really do. From the bottom of my heart, I truly appreciate it. And I will see you all in 2 weeks. Mark your calendars. Unless something else crazy happens, which I don't think it will, I will definitely see you in 2 weeks. See you on the next go around. Bye, guys.